Welcome to Jairam Higher Secondary School, Standard 8, Subject English. Today we are going to see poem My Hobby Reading. Already we have seen the prose. It's also related to the hobby, isn't it? We have seen a lot of hobby. So this video also shows only what my hobby reading. So the author is Arunachalam Chandrasekhar. They didn't give any information about Arunachalam Chandrasekhar. We just see the poem alone. My hobby is reading. My hobby is reading. Before that, we will see the glossary. What is meant by breeding? It is a procreation. Procreation means creating something new. Rational means intelligence. Ajar means slightly open. Cackle means informal laugh. That laugh we can't able to control it. That is called as what? Informal laugh. Next one is constructing. Constructing means to establish or to create. Next one is viharas. Viharas means what? Powerful. Okay, now we will see the poem line by line. My hobby is reading. The poet hobby is what? The poet hobby is reading because it helps him to breeding. I told you already, breeding means it is a procreation. So the poet hobby is reading. It helps him to create a lot of things. It can able to gather a lot of information, not only about a particular thing, a different thing he can able to come to know only by reading. So only his hobby is what? Reading. Already I told you what is meant by hobby. It is nothing. Hobby helps you to structure your time. It helps to foster new social connection, and then it helps to carve the time to find as a hobby. If we have more time to think you do, hobbies are the activities that we engage in on our free time. Especially in the free time we do our own hobby. We may be instructed in needlework, or it may be a drawing work, or it may be a painting work. And then other common activities are like stamp collecting, clay modeling, and solving crafts, puzzles, etc. Okay, for what purpose we are using this hobby? It's make our life in an interesting manner. We will go to any beyond to get the things that we require to and get the utmost joy from our hobbies. In this section, in this poem, only we are going to look over the hobby called as what? Reading. So the poet hobby is reading because it helps him to breeding in the sense procreation. This procreation, it takes me to places near and far. He is telling that when he is reading, he travels near and far, and then he can able to get a lot of information near and far, and then it refers to while we are reading anybody's biography. That imagine, you just imagine, you have to imagine in your mind that it can take you to a different places. The places may be near, or it may be in a far away. So that is the meaning for your first stanza. Just look over here again. My hobby is reading. The author hobby is reading. It helps him to develop a lot of information and to get a lot of knowledge about near and far. Near and far refers to while we are moving to places, not from one place to another place. While we are reading anybody's autobiography or biography, it takes you to feel and it takes you to travel near and far. That is the meaning for the first stanza. Yes, next, it keeps my rational. Rational means, I told you just now, it is called as what? Intelligence. So reading helps you develop your knowledge. Those ajars, it teaches me to cackle in the sense laughing in an informal way, and cry. It keeps my rationals. Those ajar, it teaches me to cackle and cry without any wings. You just look over the meaning first. It keeps my rationals. Getting more information when we will get only by reading. It can be any storybook. Some books you can able to know that some books give you pleasure and some books let you to cry sometime. If you are reading any funny books like stories or any value education stories or any funny jokes, it gives you only what? A cackle. That is an informal laugh. Suppose while you are reading any thing, any author or anything about a story related to it, create only worries, definitely it make you to cry. That only they have given here. Reading gives a lot of information, that is the intelligence. It open its doors near and far or whatever. It just open the door to get a lot of knowledge. It teaches you to cackle. Some stories, some books give you a pleasure, and some book try to give only the worries while you are reading. That is the meaning for cackle and cry. Without wings, it lets me fly. Without any wings, is there anybody human being are having a wings? No, but we have to imagine. Suppose if you like any story to read or you like to read any books, definitely while you are reading, definitely you used to involve yourself. That only they have given here the meaning. Without wings, we don't have any wings, but we want to imagine that if you have a wings, what we will do? We will fly in the sky very happily, isn't it? Likewise, while we are reading without any wings, it let me fly. So while we are reading, we are gathering a lot of information. While reading some books, it gives you pleasure. Some other books lead you to cry. So like a bird, if you want to fly, it only the pleasure gets only by reading hobby. That is the meaning in the second stanza. Next, I wish, here I refers to the poet. So I wish if all the children could read. So the author is describing that if all the children having the habit of reading, definitely in constructing a vigorous society, then we shall succeed. What he is telling, vigorous means successful. So the author is telling that he is advising all the children, if all the children having the habit of reading, definitely they can able to bring a vigorous, that is a successful society. Then we all will succeed only with the help of a habit of reading. Okay, for what purpose we want to read? For what purpose reading is important? Because it tries to sharpen your mind, increases your vocabulary power, lower especially your stress, because nowadays all the people are facing, even a small children, they are facing the stress in their life, isn't it? So to avoid stress, we have to read. And then it decrease your depression. The same, many people as well as the children, you people, what we are doing, we are having a small thing, definitely becomes under the depression. If you don't have some ideas to talk, or if you don't have any things that what you want to buy, definitely you are coming under the situation called depression. So to avoid that, if you read some books, it gives you a pleasure, improve your memory power. And if you focus on reading, definitely it will improve your memory power. It strengthen your writing ability. What it will help? Reading helps you to strengthen your writing ability. And then especially it enhance your imagination. All the people, we are having a tendency to have a imagination, isn't it? If you have the imagination power, definitely one day you are going to become a great writer. It may be in a prose poem or in a supplementary, or it may be any value education stories. And then reading helps and boosts your sleep too. While if you read a good stories when you are going to the bed, definitely it will give you only sleep, good sleep. And reading helps you to brighten your day. So these are the important thing why we are reading. And then it especially for, okay, the author is stressing why we want to have the habit as reading, because reading enhance our language skill. Especially we used to have a language skill, it can able to develop the language skill and develop fluency, allowing us to express our thoughts and ideas in a better way. For that purpose only we want to learn, and we have to read daily. Books especially quench our thirst for our knowledge. Books are the great pleasure for our human being, isn't it? So books quench your thirst for our knowledge. Through books, We learn about how things work, especially understanding different culture and comprehend the history of things. So reading helps us to strengthen our information and knowledge for maybe near and far. We are gathering a lot of information only by reading. So children, all the children, you have to develop your reading habit, not only the reading habit, writing skill, everything. So this poem fully talk about only the reading. So you have to develop your reading as a hobby, not for learning purpose. You have to create the reading also for your hobby, also for learning purpose. So only you can able to get a lot of information, only not only from from our country, from about all the country. We can able to gather a lot of information only while reading a lot of books. Next, we are going to see the supplementary part. Jim Corbett, a hunter. We know who we called as a hunter, isn't it? So the hunter turned as a naturalist. So we are going to look over the story about Jim Corbett. What is the story? We will go one by one. So before that, you just look over the glossary. What is meant by hesitate? Hesitate, pause before saying or doing something. Hesitate means nothing. It is a pause before saying or doing something. Next one, fatalists. What is my fatalist? An occurrence of death by accident, that is called as what? Fatalities. Next one is restricted. What is restricted? Limited extent, that is called as what? Restricted. Next one, preservation. Preservation means protection. Now we are going to look over the supplementary part. The author is full and full. We are going to look over about the James Corbett, what he have done for the wildlife conservation. Okay. Edward James Corbett, he was popularly known as a Jim Corbett. He was an British wildlife photographer. He is a hunter and he was a tracker and he was a naturalist and writer. He has hunted a number of man-eating tiger. What is meant by man-eating tiger? The tiger, one who eats the man, that tiger we called as what? Man-eating tiger. And leopards in India. So Jim Corbett, he had hunted a number of man-eating tigers and leopards in India, and he had a lot of experience with tiger and other wild animals to shoot with thin film camera. He is not a hunter, especially he is a great naturalist. He had a lot of experience, especially with the wild animals such as tiger and leopards. He used to shoot with the help of cinefilm camera. Corbett always preferred to hunt alone and on foot. He often hunted with the dog, with the help of the dog called as what? Robin. He used to go along with the robin for hunting. Though he was an expert hunter, he admired wildlife. He loved wildlife. Even though he was a hunter, he loved wildlife. He did not like to kill any wild animal for pleasure or for sports. He is not interested to kill any wild animals. It's also not for his pleasure or for sports. But he did not hesitate to kill man-eating tiger or leopards. Even though he did not have any pleasure or sport for killing the animal, but he never feel hesitate to kill man-eating tiger or leopards. He hunted these animals only to help people and only at the request of the government. By the requisition of the government as well as by the people only, he come forward to kill the man-eating tiger. He took no joy from the kill, especially he don't have any joy from killing the animals. He often said that not against the law of nature but against the law of human. He always used to say a single quote from the starting of the story till the entire of the story. He used to quote one word. He always not he often said that not against the law of nature but against the law of human. So this is the picture you can able to analyze that he is the Jim Corbett, and then this is the Robin dog, how he killed the tiger, because it is a man-eating tiger. It created a lot of obstacles and problems to the human beings, so only he came forward to kill the man-eating tiger with the help of government. According to Jim Corbett theory, a tiger started eating humans when they grow old or get hurt. As they cannot run fast, they start killing. The human beings cannot able to run fast, so it used to chase the human being and start killing humans. People cannot run as fast as animal. It's true, isn't it? People cannot run as fast as the animal, especially if we compare a human being are comparing to the tiger. Definitely we can't run as much as fast as the animal, so they become a easy prey. Prey means what? Food. So only the human being can't able to walk or run faster, so they became a easy prey for the tiger. After eating the human flesh, once a tiger will not eat any other flesh. Only a single day, if it eats the human flesh, definitely it won't eat any other flesh. These tiger are called as what? Man-eating. That is the man-eating tiger or man-eaters. His first man-eating tiger hunt was the Champawan tiger. His first man-eating tiger hunt was what tiger? The tiger name is called Champawan tiger. It was a Bengal tigress. Tigress refers to female tiger, responsible for nearly 436 deaths in Nepal. See the pathetic condition, and the Kumaon area of India. Her attacks have been listed in the Guinness Book of the World Record as the highest number of fatalities from the tiger. So she was shot death in 1907 by Jim Corbett. So first man-eating tiger hunt was what the tiger name? The Champawan tiger. It just killed 436 people in Nepal, and it was considered as a Guinness record also. Just look over the picture, how ferociously it is attacking the man. The tigress began her attack in a Rupal village in western Nepal, Himalayas. The tiger started. Now we are going to look over the background of the tigress, how Jim Corbett attacked the tiger and how he killed the tiger for saving the people. The tigress began her attacks in a Rupal village in western Nepal, Himalayas. Hunter was sent to kill the tiger, but she managed to escape. The many hunter also from the government side, they just send a lot of hunter, but she escaped from that spot. The Nepalese army, after failing to capture or kill the tiger, drove her across the border into India. There she continued her killing. From the Nepal army, after killing a lot of people, it just drove into the border in India. There also it started killing, especially in the Kumaon district. All her kill happened during the daylight. Especially it won't attack the people during the night time. It's bravely only attack the people only by the daylight, that is the daytime. After several incidents, people stopped going into the forest. People without entering into the forest, how can they able to collect the firewood, fruits and then roots and some other things also. It is a tragic condition for the people to move into the forest. They were terrified to go out and refused to leave their huts for work after hearing her roar from the forest. If they enter into the forest, definitely they are hearing only the roaring sound. Immediately the people got fear and then they move away from the forest. The British government requested Jim Corbett to help the villagers. During that time only what happened? The British government requested Jim Corbett to help the village people. So after a lot of conversation, he agreed to hunt down the man-eaters. So now he camped in the Kumaon district and started tracking the footprints of the tigers. He moved around the villages and restricted the activities of man-eaters. So he moved all around the people and inform about the activities and then collect the information about the man-eaters. After several unsuccessful attempts, Corbett managed to kill the tiger when it killed a 16 years old girl in the village near Champawat. So Corbett come to know that information that a tiger killed a 16 years old little girl in a village near Champawat and left a trail of blood which Corbett followed. So with the help of the trail of blood only he just followed to kill the tiger. After a whole day of pursuit, Corbett had to abandon the hunt, decided to use villages and to organize a bait. Bait means a trap the next day near the Champa river. With the help of the Tahsildar, so Jim Corbett asked the help of the Tahsildar to kill the Champawat. So he also provided a lot of people to help the Jim Corbett. A bait was organized with about 300 village people. So he have sent 300 village people to help Jim Corbett. The next day, Corbett shot the tigress death. In that very next day itself, what happened? Corbett given a shot death to the tigress near the Chattar bridge in Champawat. A cement board was erected, marking the place where the tigress was finally brought down. So they are bringing. You just look over the picture here. So they are bringing the tigress in a place. So all the people they are watching the tigress, how the Jim Corbett is bravely standing, and then with the help of the rabbin and with the help of 300 village people he just killed the Champawat tiger. Jim Corbett was always against game hunting, especially. He strongly advocated that deforestation and human encroachment were the main causes of the mischief of wild animals. He strongly giving on evidence because of destroying the wild animals' life and deforestation only. What happened? Jim Corbett is always against the game hunting because his ambition is fully want to preserve the wildlife. But now what happened? Because of killing the animals and then spoiling the forest only, the wildlife is creating, and then the wild animals especially, it is creating a ferocious attacks towards the human being. This is the information given by Jim Corbett. So he went on lecturing to educate the people about their natural heritage and they need to conserve forest and their wildlife. So Jim Corbett, what he decided, he want to educate the people especially to preserve our natural heritage and to conserve our forest as well as to conserve the wildlife. So he started his lecturing towards the people to promote. He also promoted the Association for Preservation of Game and All India Conference for Preservation of Wildlife. He played a key role in establishing India's first national park in Kumaon Hills, the Haley National Park in Uttarakhand, India. It was initially named after Lord Malcolm Haley. Jim Corbett, he died on 19 April 1955. The park was renamed in 1957 as the Jim Corbett National Park. It was named after him to honor his role in establishing this protected area in 1930s. So Jim Corbett always he was against the game hunting. What he's given some ideas to protect our environment. What he told me, we have to avoid the cutting the trees, and especially he went on to a lot of lecturing tools to educate the people to preserve our green environment and to conserve our wildlife. So at last what happened, the government they have given some honor to the Jim Corbett, and then they have given the Jim Corbett National Park also. In this Jim Corbett National Park, we can gather the information about Jim Corbett. So the great job done by the Jim Corbett. Without Jim Corbett, definitely the people can't able to move inside the forest peacefully. Now they are moving their life very peacefully, and then he also advised the people not to cut the trees, to preserve our wildlife. Definitely if you preserve the wildlife, it won't come back and disturb the human beings. So this is the story about Jim Corbett. A general information, how to teach your children the importance of wildlife conservation. So India has some of the most diverse species of wildlife in the world and is currently taking steps to protect and conserve the habitat of some of the most endangered species, especially the tortoise, sea turtle, tiger. We know very well India have a lot of species of wildlife in our world, but what we have to do, we have to take a necessary step to protect our environment, especially from endangered species. To understand how varied and plentiful the wildlife in the country is, consider the fact that India is home to 6% of flowering species, 7.6% of all mammals, 12.6% of bird and 6.2% of reptile species according to Radhampur National Park. They have given the information about the flowering species, mammals, birds, reptile species according to the national park. Though the government is taking initiative to conserve nature, it is also important to spread the message to the home across the people, especially to our younger children. You children, you have to gather a lot of information about how to preserve our green environment and how to protect the wildlife. Some group have recently taken the initiative to educate kids on importance of wildlife conservation by conducting a summer camp to teach young ones about conservation to practical experience at a local zoo. So nowadays what happened, the people also involving themselves and then they are also educating their kids about the importance of wildlife conservation by conducting a summer camp to teach. If you teach a young one, definitely we can able to preserve our green environment. Adopt a fun approach to wildlife education. When it comes to educating the kid, especially the kids, small kids, they have to enjoy, at the same time they have to teach, at the same time they have to know how to protect our wildlife, isn't it? So it is an important information. One of the most effective way to teach conservation measure is not to preach but to actively teach them about nature. So we have to take the children to the field trip and then we have to show the nature and the importance of wildlife conservation through fun activities. So by conducting a lot of activities, we can tell the students how to preserve the wildlife conservation and about the nature. So we can take them to the zoo and then we can take them for different places to help the environment. Here are some steps and activity to teach your kids about nature and wildlife conservation. First, you just look over, go exploring and teach your children to identify local plants. You just take the children to the nursery garden also and then you just show the local plants, trees, fish species, birds or animal that you may encounter into your walks. You can take the children and then teach the children to find out what is meant by plants, what are the kind of trees and fish species as well as the birds and the animals, and make a life list. Bird watchers are known for making life list, which is record for all the avian life that you have seen, including the date and time of the encounter. Letting your child keep a record of every new species. Just instruct your children to just notice what kind of bird they have seen today and what are the things they can get a lot of information from the net also. Play nature themed game. Especially by playing a nature themed game, we can make the children to know about the wildlife preservation. A game of I Spy in the park or a scavenger hunt is a great way to the outdoor and educate them of the different plant, insect and animal species. And then especially watch TV shows and documentaries related, a short film, and then you can show some geography related televisions to wildlife conservation and nature. National Geographic Kids and Nat Geo Wild is filled with short kid-friendly documentaries, especially the short film. You have to show to the children the information should be to protect the wildlife, and animated shows that will entertain children while keeping them informed about nature. Have your children understand how the plants and animal in the world connect to the food on your table. So you have to tell the children how you got the rice and how the plants will be, and you have to tell and you have to tell about the animals, where the animals live and what we have to do for the animal, what are the food item we have to go give to the animal. We can tell the student, we can tell the children also in our day to day life. Allow them, especially we have to give time to plant vegetables, then let them have us prepare and serve them for dinner. You have to inform, you have to instruct your children to plant vegetables, let them have us, and then they prepare and serve for their dinner. Take your child on a fishing trip. You take a child to the fishing trip, whether it is an afternoon at the nearby lake, it may be a small lake or it may be a stream. You just take the children to the fishing trip, so it can make them as a hobby also. And then you can it always a good idea to incorporate some fun into every learning, especially the kids like only in a fun. If you are having a fun in learning, definitely it will register in their mind. So opportunity when teaching children about wildlife conservation, so do the playway method to create a awareness about wildlife conservation. By doing some of the previous mentioned steps, not only do so to get spend quality time with your little ones. So the parent want to spend a good time with the children, and then you just tell about the wildlife conservation and tell about how to preserve our natural environment, especially how to plant, and then wildlife conservation. So only they can able to develop a positive opinion about nature, and especially hopefully they'll be encouraged to take concrete steps to protect local wildlife in our upcoming years. So the parents are having the responsibility to take the children to a natural park and then the zoo, and then let the children to plant small saplings, and then allow them to know about what is the benefit of plant and what is the benefit of the animal and how to preserve our wildlife. We should not kill the animal, and then because it is also it is also having a soul, isn't it? So we should not kill any kind of animal. We have to protect our environment. Till we just disturb the environment, till we disturb the wildlife, definitely it won't do any destruction to our human beings. So we children, you have to observe what is meant by environment and what is the wildlife conservation. So keeping all these points what I have mentioned in the supplementary, you have to take care, and then take care of your pet animals as well as the birds and the animals. So this poem and then the prose, and then we have seen the supplementary in the unit number 1. So we have to protect our environment without any distractors. Thank you.